Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Nothing's Wrong podcast.
Welcome back. For those who have not been here before, make sure you're hitting that like button, make sure you're sharing, and make sure you're going to follow our social medias at Nothing's Wrong Podcast, YouTube, Twitter, Soundbean. I mean, anywhere that you want to hear us, we're here. I know it's been a while, but we are back. And I miss you guys. It's been so long. Like, you don't understand. Every time we want to get live, things have been happening, but I guess it's because we weren't meant to be live. But anywho, we're here, so hopefully this is smooth sailing. We just got a lot of things to talk about since we need to just catch up on a few things. So thank you for coming back. Yes. Did you have a lovely holiday?
Yeah, this is probably one of my best holidays for the year so far. And I'm so grateful and thankful for
Same.
my family. And I think just a lot of people now are more grateful for the little things
Right.
rather than like, oh, did I get this? Did I get that? Now it's more about like, I'm with my family and, grateful for that. So
Yeah, that's important to like have family. Some people are alone and they have to create family through friends. So to have family, period, friends, it's cool. Especially when they care about you and they've got you nice things during these times. I think Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, American holidays. Well, it's in general. Anyone who's like a Christian, Catholic. So I guess those are the people who celebrate it. But I celebrate it due to the fact of like the giving part and receiving. And it's just nice to give people things and to receive things, even if you don't get anything, but to like see how much people care about you.
Right.
Even a happy Merry Christmas or like, just an initiation of like you care type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. The spending money part on other people, it gets a little hectic, and I know people are like last minute shoppers.
Yeah.
And getting
I'm like
people
the
things
worst
like
because
that.
I'm like with the shopping, it's like I go to shop for other people, but then
Yeah.
I end up shopping for myself.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, this is great for this person, but I need this. Let me get this for me. But yeah, it's definitely just great to have family and be
Right.
with everybody and really celebrate. Like we've been in the Christmas spirit over here.
So I think that we should definitely get into information about how I feel, and maybe you feel the same way. How us women, this is for women right now, on the way that they need to level up their mindset.
Oh, we getting on women now?
Yeah, it's not getting on them. I think that is something that they need to realize, and it needs to be said because it's just too many of us beautiful women just doing whatever it takes to make a man want to choose you or to do something nice for you when it all comes down to your mindset. I know you overheard someone saying like, how do you get a man to, do something for you or do something nice for you, as far as like either a trip or just like to pay for them to eat dinner. How do you feel about like women not knowing their confidence on not even having that as a mindset to even think of like, oh, how am I supposed to get him to do this or do that, when it should just be like your energy? And I just wanted to hear your thought because you're the one that overheard that.
Oh. It comes down to your level up. Like if you're really leveled up, like if you look bomb, if you look like you don't pay and you look like you're taken care of, people are gonna take care of you. It's just automatic. You're
Yeah.
not gonna get like a different reaction. And if you do, it doesn't matter because it's not common enough to have a real reaction.
Well, my thing about it is like, why even ask those type of questions, or like feel as if these type of things can't be provided to you. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I just see a lot of,
Why did you go through that?
no, I never went through that, because my mindset is definitely
So you
to have a
always
good
had
time.
that?
Yes, I always had that. I never had the in my mind to say, "Oh, I'm
Okay,
not
so
going to
now
be
I'm gonna
able."
call her out because
Sure.
she's lying.
No, I'm not lying, because
She
when I
has had relationships in the past where you did not have that type of situation going on, and that's
of
how
course,
you learned to not be in that situation anymore
but in
and to
that,
level up. So then that is the truth
that is the
that you
truth.
did
But
go through that. So why'd you lie?
no, I think it's my mindset was to take. I never looked for that person to do that, so that's why I never, when during that time, that's why I didn't receive it.
Right.
So it was all my mindset.
It's the same
but
thing
when
with
my
other
mindset
people.
overcame.
But that's what I'm saying. So you did go through that. You said no, I've never, but you
I
did.
didn't say I never. I said I don't think that. Whatever. So I guess so. I think it's all about like the mindset trigger thing.
They try to preach to you, but
No, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm trying to like kind of get. I guess you kind of made my question a point by saying like it all comes down to your you know, where you're at. So obviously you're gonna want to ask questions when you're not on that level. So forgive me for saying why would you ask a question
no, I'm
like
just
that.
kidding. I just
No, but it's true though, because in reality it's like you got to really understand that that is someone's experience. They've never experienced that. So if someone has experienced that, then them asking a question like that shouldn't like be a stupid question, because no question is stupid. So
right.
it just all comes down to your experience and where you're at.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's definitely what I feel like the more that I experience, I mean, with any experience, not just like one blanket experience, it's like once you know something and you know to level up in that area, all you can do is level up and know better. So it's like you can only move on. You can only, try to do better the next time. So it's like, hey, if you're leaving a relationship, make sure the next relationship is better than the last. If you're leaving a job, make sure your next job is better than the last. So you start your own business. Whatever you do or leave behind, you want to make sure that you're progressing, that you're not just staying stagnant or moving backwards. Because what's the fun in that? Where's the lesson in that? You went through what you went through to actually learn. So I think that it's important to, go through those situations. I for sure, went through that situation where I was a pick me and I was, trying to validate who I am through another person, which, was common when I was in high school. Girls would do, anything for attention. And the good thing about me is I really didn't care about the attention part. It was mostly like just, how you are in high school with your boyfriend. Like, you make sure that everything that he wants to do is done and blah, blah, blah. And, but even still in those situations, I mean, I've had teenagers, like when I was a teenager, still doing nice things for me, still taking me out, still, paying for lunch and doing things like that. So I think, yeah, it's the energy that you have and the expectation. But I remember I did date somebody, and now this is gonna, I'm gonna save this for when there's people in here, because ain't that much of y'all in here right now, so I ain't gonna spill my beans yet.
So to move on with like topics on relationships, not even topics, but conversations, I want to praise men who love their wives. And I'm going to give a shout out to I Am Athlete. Watching their podcast.
Oh my
and
God,
if
I
you're
love
a
their
man,
podcast.
I know.
And I don't even watch football.
Right. And I love
like-
the flow, and I love how much they love their wife.
Yeah.
And I love how much they love what they do.
Yeah.
And just like their conversation on just like how they've overcame where they came from, because athletes, dealing with the athlete, they're the most, get all the women.
Yeah.
They have a lot of like
we see
infidelity
them. Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
relationship. And for those guys to like be married and actually, and I'm sure that they've had infidelity in their
Well,
marriage.
of course, they're athletes, but they're all retired, and they're older. So I think that when a guy does reach a certain age after he's done certain things,
Yeah.
you start to appreciate the people that are here for you and love you and support you, and that comes down to your family, your
Right.
wife,
Right.
the closer people to you. And it's so, like, for me, it's like I love to see men love their wives. I
Right.
love to see men really appreciate the women in their lives and speak about them and
Right.
raise them up.
And
It's
even bring them up, like they even have their wives even like sitting on the seat, like
Yeah,
having
like I think that
conversations.
that's great. I think
Yeah.
that more men need to do that instead of, trying to hide their girl on social media because they're
Exactly.
trying to, get another girl. And it's like, you know what?
It's just like pointless. Yeah.
Because I think I like their show because they always have respect for women. They always, but they also show you, that men can be mature. Men do think more than
Yeah.
just, having sex. Men do have, fun conversation, and
Yeah.
especially black men. So I really loved it, and it's cool.
And I know that a lot of, women are bashing, not a lot of women are bashing black men, but black men have been under the seat, because they have been dating outside their race. They're disrespectful to women. Not all black men, but
No.
once you get on their show, it's like there's a
I hate
characteristic on
that.
black people.
That's what I hate because it's like, oh, but black men are like this, black men are like that. And
Yeah.
it's just like, it's maybe the black men that you date because
Right.
it's not just based on color. And I think that's just really interesting for America because
Yeah.
America really thinks about color where everybody else in the world thinks about status, about
Right.
class.
Exactly.
And it's a classist society. So it's like not necessarily about color, it's about education, intellect, where your level of common sense is. So I've been around black guys that are amazing,
Right.
dated black guys that were amazing. Like, it's not necessarily like every black guy is like
No,
this.
I don't think
And I
so
hate
either.
to say, oh, black men are like this, black men. No, there are great black men
No, there
too.
is, and that's why I said,
But I'm not telling you go throw on a cape and cape for them. I'm not
No.
telling you, save yourself for a black man. I'm not telling you none of that. Do what you
No,
please. But I'm
it-
just saying, don't generalize and say, because they can say the same thing about black women. Oh, all black women are like this and like that. And it's just
all
like,
black
don't
women
generalize.
twerk, all black women,
Yeah.
it's just a whole stereotype. And I had that conversation with you about how it's like, when they talk about third world countries, they say, oh, that country's poor, it doesn't have anything. But then you have the corporations, the governments just sliding in there and doing their thing. And we're supposed to just think that this third world country is just a third world country.
Right.
That doesn't have any value to it.
Right.
It's not anything. And that's what they do when it comes to like the minority, the color, the black people, the Hispanics. They just categorize us and put us in a certain place where that's just not majority of the black people. We are educated, we are good people, we love. I think black people have the most love. Like, they think we're dangerous, but I
They're
think
actually
the
the most
other
loving.
side is
Yeah.
more cuckoo loco. But you don't hear black people putting people of like different races down.
Well, it's
as
cool
much
to
as
be
they do
dangerous
that.
to black people. I mean, look at the
Yeah.
hip hop culture. It's
I mean,
cool to
yeah.
be dangerous. So they promote danger. And so I mean that's a whole
true.
thing, but I want to get back onto that point where it's just like I hate the idea of it's like they're doing this to us. They're doing that, like we're at the end of 2020, right? We made the people who made it, you made it.
Right.
We're going into 2021. But I think we need to leave the they're doing this, they're doing that. And now we already know what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
we already know that, this is bad and this is a game and that's a trap. We already know. So do we still keep calling it out, or do we then, make different moves and start working on the individual? And I feel like that is the message that I've continued to like just meditate on for this last month is like you already know what you know. So what are you going to do? Are you still going to complain about the system? Are you still going to complain about the people, about this, about that? Or are you going to create your own and start living your life?
Right.
And there's so many like YouTube channels and podcasts and different pages and websites out there to put fear into everybody.
Right.
And get everybody on this low vibration. But at the end of the day, it's like, who cares? People literally argue about, oh, the collective, and should we be a capitalist society? Should we be a socialist society? Who's going to be the president? Should we do this? Where should the funds for this go? How should we fund this? And it's like, at the end of the day, this conversation is useless. Because it's all a distraction. It has nothing to do with your purpose. Everybody, like, honestly, and it sounds bad, but hey, I was going to be a politician when I was younger, so I care about the people.
I was going to be a lawyer, so
yeah, I care about the people, but it sounds bad, but moving forward, especially in the Aquarian age, it's no longer about the collective.
No.
And we still need people working for the collective, of course, but as an individual, that's how you're going to get far. You have to individualize yourself and inspire the people around you rather than trying to go against a big system that's never going to change. The system's always going to be there. Right. You break down one system, another one will rise. Okay. It's what we need in this world. Right. We need that opposing force so it can drive us towards where we actually need to go. So oh well, yeah, the system is the system. What else is left? And that's where, like, I just been at with my consciousness and what I've been thinking.
I mean, you make a good point. I feel the same exact way. I think that the more focused you are on what's going on is the less time you have spending with yourself. Right. And then you don't want another year coming in and it's just like, hold up, you're almost 50 years old. You're almost 21. Right. You're almost, it doesn't really matter what age you are, but you letting all these time go by and you never thinking like, what did I do for myself? Like, how did I enjoy my life? Is my purpose? Like, the purpose part is still exists. The biggest part. It's always going to still exist till the day you die. And even from the day you die, you still have more purpose on another way. But it's just like, you have to like continue to make a purpose for you, to make your everyday move feel like something, feel like you accomplish your own dream, your own, fruition of what you want in your life. You're not going to only want to just work and take care of a man or just only, I don't know, I'm just giving examples that may be bad. but it's just girl. Like, yeah, just horrible choices. Like, I've just seen so many horrible choices and I just feel like we need to just think, stop, and really make a go for yourself.
I hate when I see horrible choices and it's like such horrible choices. And it's like, what I mean by that is like, you'll see like, I just seen horrible choices.
I mean,
and it's good to see it so you can learn and not make it for yourself.
I will not do that.
Yeah. But it's people make a lot of choices that I'm just like, you didn't have to do this, but you chose to do this. And now, what did it give you?
Heartache.
Yeah. And I made horrible decisions.
Of course. That's
time
being
and time
human.
Again.
That's being a human, but when are you going to stop? There's a point when you stop and it has to happen and we can't, I think that if you're making horrible choices and you know that you're making horrible choices, like that's not something that isn't true. It's like, yes, I make horrible choices. What do you have to do? Start making changes starting today.
But you know what happens when you make horrible choices? The reason why people don't change, especially now, is because we live in a meme society. You make a horrible choice, you go on Instagram, you find the meme of your horrible choice and you laugh it off and you move on and you keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Oh, so why are you laughing if you continue in it?
That's why you laugh. You laugh at yourself for doing it.
Dumb. You're like, I'm gonna do it again after
laughing
about it.
Of course, because you never fixed the problem. You just realized, hey, yeah, I do it too. I feel like, somebody else posted this and there's likes under here, so other people do it too. So I feel
Oh, it's
validated
okay.
in making my stupid choice. So let me continue to make my stupid choice and laugh about it and post about it and send this to my friends because they know I make stupid decisions. It's stupid. It's just dumb.
That's dumb in 2021. Like
Yeah.
2020, let's not even put 2021. Let's close the year off with a bang and
Right.
like literally, and I feel like that's what happened with me. Like I literally and then I'm in the process continuously leaving myself with a bang, doing the, what it takes for me to enjoy each day I live. And if you, I hate to talk about it, but if you look, there's so many suicides that's happening with women
Yeah.
all over the world. Taraji, she talked about how she was during COVID, she was attempting to do suicide. And in my head, because I'm always decoding things, and then Tamar also talked about that. And I'm just feeling like, is that something that they're just doing in the industry right now?
No,
Just
there's a lot of
discussing,
women
or it's
in
just really happening?
No, there's a lot of women in Japan,
Yeah, I know about
actresses
that.
that have committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get your mind right,
Right.
because I know we kind of joked on. I don't know if you guys seen the Instagram post, but about black people getting their powers, the melanated getting their level up, and I'm sure everybody got theirs, but to unlock that level up, you have to be able to have a clear mind and be a clear channel so you
Right.
can actually, receive that level up and things like that. But a lot of people getting this new wave of consciousness, this new, I mean, we're literally in a new world. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going to be able to make it. And
Yeah.
not everybody's consciousness is going to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to see that.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely see that
Not
already.
to get it all creepy and scary on you guys,
I
but
mean,
that's
that's what,
life.
but that's what I was just about to say. Like,
Yeah.
it is creepy and scary. Like, if you take a look at what's going on in the world, and not just only in the U.S., but period,
Right.
it's creepy and scary. This is what, and
But
it's good and joyful
yeah.
and happy. It just really depends on where you want to place yourself, because it's all a mindset to me, and where you place yourself in your environment, and then
Yeah.
you get what you get.
I think the main issue with people that they continue to face is because they either don't know about or they're scared of death. And when you have that fear of death inside of you, and it's a real thing, and like actual death, dying, the concept of death has not been taught to us. We've only been taught to fear death.
Right.
So if you have this fear of something that's inevitable, like it's going to happen no matter what you do, you cannot escape it, and you're fearful of it, then your life is going to follow that path of that fear to manifest itself. And we all know, like I said, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. The best way to go at it is to understand. And so, like for me, I remember like when I was going on my journey and finding out who I was and what I wanted to do in my life, the first eye-opening thing that I learned was about death. I researched about people with near death experiences, and I really like put myself in a place where I could understand the process, and I studied about it. I learned about it. Definitely the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You research that part, because that's the scariest thing that you'll be facing is your death. So if you already know you're gonna die, this is why, like the Haitian Revolution, why they won is because they no longer feared death. They didn't
Right.
care. They understood death. They understood the birth and the rebirth, death, the life cycle. They understood the infinity sign that you will live forever. You will continue to go whether you're in this body or the next. It doesn't matter. Your consciousness will continue to go.
Yeah.
It's infinite, and that's when everything started unlocking to me. That's when things really started to like show itself to me, and I started to realize that the fear that a lot of the people hold, you literally don't need it. And we hold this baggage of death and fear of death that I mean, everything is death. I mean, you go to church and pray to God and for forgiveness because you fear when you die, you'll be sent to, wherever. You continuously do things off of a fear-based sense in your life, which is in your root chakra. And we continue to just on this fear, on this survival, on this lower plane. And it's like, you got to let that go. You can't change the world. And I know we said it, especially today, it's like there's always a tomorrow.
Right.
Life goes on. Whether you make it or not, life will continue to go. The sun will rise again. And whatever happened or whatever's going on will cease to exist because unless you decide to bring it back into reality. So I don't know where I was going on that tangent,
what I
but
was like,
yeah.
yo, she's bringing up death. Like, where are we coming from that? But we were talking about suicide, so it just makes a lot of sense when you
Yeah.
say it.
Ibrahim says, "Happy holidays. You look amazing, ladies."
Oh, thank you so much,
thank you.
Ibrahim.
Thank you so much. Love you. Um, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Her bringing up that, it just shows also like this world praises the dead. So it's just like it's just inevitable for us to be fearful of something that we praise, which is weird to me, but beautiful at the same time, because no matter if that person's gone, you will continuously, put them in a high pedestal, even if they didn't have much time here. Just like you'll look at rappers like Pop Smokes, we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like he started shining.
Yeah, he's like a
during
rock
his
star
time.
right
Yeah.
now. And it's like,
And
would that same thing had happened before? Who knows?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but we
always praise the
them.
death. When somebody dies, that's when people acknowledge.
Exactly. That's when they remember you. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I remember her. This is that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the
they
same
show
thing
you
like
so much
Christmas.
support.
It's the same thing like Christmas. People show you love and text
Yeah.
you and hit you up on
Yeah.
Christmas, and it's like, but
And
there
then-
was so many other days. You didn't think about me not one of those times, but I'm grateful for the people.
That's
who
what I'm
thought about me.
saying. Like the
Yeah.
people who do care about you to say it, because even though it's a holiday, some people don't even have to acknowledge you. Like
Right.
they don't celebrate the holiday. They don't got a gift for you. What they got to say, Happy New Year, whatever.
Happy
they
Merry.
don't got nothing for you. So it's just nice to have someone acknowledge you, period, despite it being just a holiday.
Right.
You thought of me. Yay. I notice while I'm always being out, being nosy, because I'm an observer, and you guys know that. It's a holiday, and I went for my Christmas walk and noticed a couple, because we're going to bring up relationships because that's our show. We talk about relationships. So, and if you know me, I'm looking at who's paying, if it's going to be the man or the woman. If they're going to drive, I want to see the same thing. Is it going to be the man or the woman? Because this is not just more than one person. This is multiple people I've seen. So this is something that I think that women need to hear this, because maybe you don't know what you're doing. So let's go back into the couple that was with the baby. Now they're going back to their car.
It was a man, a woman, a toddler, and a baby.
Oh, I didn't even see the toddler. So, anywho, they're walking to their car. And so you're seeing who's doing what. The mom is the one that, is pushing the stroller. The kids get out. They get in the car with the dad. And the dad is putting the kids in the car, but not actually like putting the seatbelt on. Just get in the car and let me close the door and let me go sit down. And you want to know where he sat, right? He was sitting in the passenger seat. Mind you, the woman still didn't close her baby stroller. She's struggling back there. This man is on his cell phone, sitting in the front seat. I'm at the passenger seat, and doesn't think like, oh, my wife, my girlfriend, whatever she is to him, oh, she's struggling back there because she still didn't come to the front of the car. No, this man is still on his cell phone. This woman is struggling, putting the stroller in, finally gets into the car and starts to drive. Ladies, you can't have a man and you be a man too. You have to let the man do what he needs to do. He has to take the stroller, close it, and put it in the car, buckle the kids in, and drive the car. Because you push those kids out. You probably take care of the kids more than he does. And I think you ladies think that, oh, because he's doing something, that it is okay. But it's not okay. You ladies deserve better than what you guys are receiving. And I think that you have to notice that before you make a change, or, see somebody else do something kind to a woman and say, hey, I wish that can happen for me, and actually manifest that in your life. Because manifestation is about your mindset and the way that you think, and that you think that you should receive in your life. And I think that you ladies are not actually pushing to have an easy life. I feel like you're struggling because you want to struggle, because there's no need to struggle when you have a man.
I think people struggle because they think that that's the only way to go about life.
No.
I used to have that struggle mentality. Like, that's another thing that a lot of oppressed people have. The minority of people have a struggle personality, meaning if anything is good in my life, I'm gonna have to work hard for it. I'm gonna have to struggle through it. I'm gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices, big sacrifices for it. It's a lie. It's 100% a lie. And I can tell you this from experience, from, going out in the real world and figuring it out. This struggle mentality that everybody has, like, don't be with anybody that you're struggling with.
No.
That it's honestly just the truth. If you and somebody else are together and you're struggling, break up.
See yourself out.
If it's a friendship, stop being friends, because if you have two people who are struggling, you guys can't help each other up because you're both struggling. You're better off going at it alone and having somebody who's not struggling see you doing it alone and want to help you.
Exactly.
But if you're with another person and it's two people struggling, nobody's going to really want to help two people who can't help themselves. So the whole struggle love, the whole struggle mindset, even just that whole I have to struggle to live life and feel good about it, kill it. Leave that in 2020. You should have left it in 2019, but if you didn't, leave that in 2020, because don't go forward with that struggle, because you will manifest that struggle. That struggle will continue to manifest itself.
I can't see you ladies live your life like that anymore. Like, I no longer want.
Why do you think it is that women do that?
Like, I have struggled as well with relationships where I felt like I was, taking over and doing the most, while that person was just doing the least. And
why do you think you did that?
Because I was attracted to that person. And I think the attraction and the conversation of certain times, though I would say those were the good times. Like, I was a good time type of person. So I enjoyed a good time, a good conversation. So conversations were important to me back then. And when they failed, because with those people, those dusties, of course, they gave conversation, but they also didn't give conversation too. So they weren't very communicative, or did anything to make me feel like they are treating me like a queen, making me feel like I'm special. The only time they made me feel I felt like I was special was when I was doing something for them, I guess.
Right.
And I think because they manipulate you, because I was young. So if you're young, you don't really know much. If your parents...
So is it the guy manipulating you, or is it you making the decision to do the most?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Because I want to impress that person. Right. You see, the impression is not coming from him, it's coming from me.
Right.
And so
that's what I'm saying. Like, I know, like, when I was making those type of pick-me mistakes, it wasn't necessarily like the guy. It was me trying to impress the guy, trying to show him like, oh, I have money. I can do this. I can travel here. I can do that. Don't worry. Right. I can help you with your dreams.
Yeah.
And in the reality of it, it's like, I wasn't doing that for like, I was doing it so I could feel validated and I can feel
In the
like the
relationship.
person likes me.
Yeah.
And I give
Which
them
they
then
like.
no reason to
Yeah.
not stay with me because I'm doing everything. But that type of mentality is actually what pushes
The man
him away.
Yeah.
Tone Deaf said, "Happy holidays, ladies.
Happy holidays. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in and
Yeah.
spending this time with us."
Yes, it feels good to see you here.
Yes.
But yeah, it does come down to that because you're just really trying to impress that person. And it doesn't have, I would say, like you said, it doesn't have really much to do with them because you're allowing them to do that to you. It's just that you want to be appreciated. And I think because it's all a mindset too, and you manifest the same guy. So I feel like the other guy that jumps in is kind of the same characteristic as the first one, but maybe a little bit better because of certain
They may
things.
do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still
like, oh, he's
same.
better than that, but it's the same. For me, it really didn't change until I literally saw what I was doing. Because I didn't think anything was wrong with what I was doing. Because, I mean, I'm a giving person. I'm a nice person. So I wasn't like paying for no man. Wasn't doing that. But definitely I was giving. Like, if you didn't have it, like, I didn't have a problem helping you. But at the same time, once I realized, like, this is not... I'm attracting something I don't want. As soon as I decided, it instantly stopped. I have not experienced that at all. It was the complete opposite effect. And that's why I say, like, it comes down to what your mindset is. If your mindset is like, I only attract this and this is what I want, everybody else who's not on that level won't even talk to you, won't even come up to you and try you.
Yeah. And that's why the ones that do is because you're still on that level. You're still on that same energy. It's like they can smell your aura. Oh, this one smells a little easy for me to
I remember I went on a date with this guy and he was really cool. We were talking and vibing out. We were like on a roof deck, like by the pool, just chilling and having lunch. And he told me that, you know, he went on another date with this girl and she told him like, oh, I left my wallet in the car, like I'm not paying. And then he was like, excuse me, what do you mean? And then she was like, well, I'm not paying. And he was just like completely put off by it, obviously, because and I'm like, okay. And then he's like, yeah. And so when the bill came, I was like, okay, so this is my stuff and I'll take care of my stuff.
He's dusty.
Yeah, which I thought was completely rude. But in my head, I was like, why would she say that?
Because didn't we say that before? Like they just people just make like bad choices. Yeah, that's a bad choice. Those kind of things, you keep that in your head. You don't bring that out loud.
Right. You don't go out and say I'm not paying. Like,
oh, that means you're paying, baby girl.
That means you're paying. But in my head, I was just like, so you made her pay? And then he's like, yeah, like I made her pay. In my head, I was like, well, I'm not paying, right? I'm like, well, I wasn't paying. So, because I mean, I don't even go outside. I don't have to tell somebody I'm not paying. Like, if you invited me out, I'm not the type of girl that walks around looking like she's paying for anything. And I mean, even when I was younger, it was just, I didn't really even have money and I would party and literally somebody was going to pay. Like I wasn't paying, but I'm not going to be outwardly saying to a guy, like, I'm not paying. It's like, you ungrateful. Yes, you are.
So do you think that she deserved that?
Because she said something. Because
she said something, she deserved to pay?
It's not, no, definitely not. As the gentleman thing to do, I believe that he should have paid because it's just the gentleman thing to do.
I think so
But
too.
also as well, I believe that she should have never said anything. If somebody is taking you out, you automatically assume they're treating.
Women have a big mouth, but like they like to tell on themselves. They like to sit there and spill their beans. Right. Like, keep your mouth shut. These guys don't sit sit there and spill their beans to you,
Right.
and they're over there like doing the most, and
Right.
you don't know anything about it. So it's just like,
But just to
why
let you
open
guys
your
know,
mouth?
he did pay.
Yeah, of course
Because
he
I wasn't
did.
paying.
You
I
didn't
actually
have to-
wasn't paying, and I didn't have to say anything. But I thought it was interesting, though.
I'm like, first of all, why are you telling me this story?
That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, is this like a hint to try to tell me I'm gonna have to pay? Because that's not happening.
Right.
I've come a long way, buddy. That's never gonna happen.
I'll
I'll walk away.
I'm like,
well, at the end of the day, nobody who's really gonna stop the woman at the door. Like, excuse me, ma'am, you didn't pay. You didn't see that guy I was sitting with? He's paying. Don't come to me with that. Like, that's so weird.
That guy is weird for
Yeah.
even discussing that. These guys, I think, like, first of all,
But I get where they're coming from. I mean,
yeah.
nobody wants to feel like they're being used. So that's why you don't go at it like that. I mean, it's like unsaid. You don't, first of all, don't go out with anybody who you don't think is going to pay. I would not go out with anybody who...
It's your choices of, like, I think people, and it's not like...
The
I know
same
that
way
it
with
kinda-
guys, hold on. The
Sure.
same way with guys, don't go out with anybody who you think is going to show up looking a hot mess
Oh my
if you
gosh.
don't want to be around a hot mess.
I mean, you don't even have to continue the date. Like, you could tell them, just like the guy, we told a story about how he was like, it was a obese woman, and he found her online, and he's like, okay, well, like, I want to smash, so I'm okay with it. Like, and then when he comes, he's like, you know what? I'm not okay with it. So
Yeah.
it's like, you can
Not
actually be honest, because that's the breed that you guys are. You guys are very honest and very transparent when it comes to like the things that you want, especially sexually. You just
Who, men?
men, yeah, they will just say it. But and that's how they get women to manipulate themselves to be like, okay, let's do it your way instead of it being the woman's way sometimes. And not only for sexual things, drinking, like different things that a woman in her head said, I'm coming here to be this certain type of woman. And then a man kind of like, I don't know, just has this thing called manipulation in their soul.
But it's also, I feel like it's the man. Yeah, he can
Yeah.
use whatever game he wants and
Right.
see if it works. Why not? Throw it at a wall and see what sticks. But
That's true. That's
at
what
the
they
same
do,
time,
though.
it's the woman who, with hot dogs.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's the same with women. It's like, you gotta know, like, you're going to be approached in so many different types of ways. Where's
Yeah.
your mindset at? What grounding do you have in your own principles and your own morals? It's like, you set the boundaries. If you're the one who's, telling the guy that you're with or whatever, whoever your friends or whoever you're around, these are my boundaries, even at work, even in any situation,
Right.
people will respect them because you laid the foundation. That's the same way when somebody says, I'm Jewish and I only do this and this and this. You respect it. You just say, okay, well, I won't say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or, like, you do what it is to respect it because they commanded that respect because they let their boundaries be known from the beginning.
Right.
And that if that's being crossed, this is what's going to happen. So I feel like it's the same thing with men. They obviously always, I've yet to see a man, not tell you what he actually wants. Like,
Right.
he's gonna eventually tell on himself and tell you, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. If he wants a relationship, he will be honest and let you know he wants
Right.
a relationship. If he
doesn't-
doesn't want a relationship but still wants to smash, he's going to let you know,
I don't want a relationship.
I don't want a relationship, but I really like you. That's him saying to you exactly what it is. So it's up to the woman to
Right.
use her own discernment and to know that I'm going to be approached and I can't stop the inevitable.
Right.
It's up to me to decide on how and what boundaries I'm going to put up, what principles I'm going to stand behind, and what it is that I'm going to do. And so that's what I was saying before about pointing the finger and continuously saying, oh, this, or, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, or it's your fault. You're the one who's in control.
Right. We do have to take responsibility, and we can't just blame the men. We
Yeah.
can't it just really has to do within
Because who
ourselves.
raised these men? You birthed them, the women. So it's like, you are the one who teaches the man how to treat you.
Right.
If you tell a man the same way, I mean, if I tell a man I'm vegan, he's never gonna offer me a cheeseburger,
Right.
because it's
Unless
like,
it's
I
vegan.
already told him that I don't eat meat. So that's how you just set the foundation from there. Like, I don't do this. And if that person's down with it, they'll move forward. If not, they're not. But women are just more scared of rejection. So they're like, I don't want to get rejected. So I'm going to just abide by whatever game you're playing and then put myself through suffering.
And see how it works.
And see how it works.
And just like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? It's always, what do they think? What do they think? What do you think? I think that we need to know what we want. And we've talked about this multiple times of like knowing what you want. You have to know what you want, period, in life. Not only for a man, but in general in life. What do you want? And you can't keep going every single day not knowing what you want and what kind of life you want to live. And I think lifestyle is most important in life. What kind
it's most important to women.
It's most important to men as well, but in a certain way, because even though you may not say that they don't really, it's not important to them, but it is. Say if they're working, but they want to go to the club. That's a lifestyle. They want to have sneakers. They want to have travel. A certain outfit. They want to travel. This is all considered lifestyle. Their religion or whatever they want to place in their life, their spirituality, that's all included in their lifestyle. I think people don't know what kind of lifestyle they want. I mean, you could watch TV and say, hey, I want to be just like these rappers and have all these ice, and that's just not really your lifestyle. That's just a choice of someone else's. You got to be in particular of what you want in your lifestyle. And that's even choosing these guys, ladies. I think because we're using the excuse of young. We're using the excuse of, oh, this is what is here. No, this is what is here. So I live in a certain part of town where there's not that much options for me. So this is what it is.
I hate generalizations. Like, you don't think anybody else in your town is on the same wave as you. You think that you're the one unicorn that's special, that everybody around you is. No, go find your tribe. This is not your soul tribe. Move on and find your soul tribe.
And stop being fearful.
Don't just settle. Exactly. Don't just move in the fear and just settle. And it's like, I'm just gonna settle. This because is you're fine. This is cool. No. I hate it here, but I'm fine with it. I'll just struggle. Like, our parents did that. We don't
have to do it for a job. You don't have to do it for a man. You don't have to do it for a lifestyle. You are your own being.
Right.
You can't use your parents. You can't use all those things I just said. Like, you literally have to figure it out. Because as time go on and you're living this life, what do you have for yourself?
Right.
What do you have for your children if you have children? What do you have? It doesn't even matter about your children. It's you, because you create whatever your children has. So it's just literally a mindset of like recreating the things that you
know
want.
What I also thought was beautiful? I thought it was beautiful and very interesting, because I know some people won't agree with this, but from I Am Athlete, that podcast that we were talking about, one of the guys who had his wife up there, he was saying, like, if he was in a sinking boat and one of his kids went that way and his wife went the other way, who would he save? And he said he would go save his wife. And that's the kind of like consciousness that women want from a man.
Right.
That's the kind of consciousness that, even though the woman's gonna say go save the child, because that's her consciousness, but the man is there to protect his wife, to make sure she's able to do all of the million things she has to do here. His one job is to protect and make sure it's safe and secure for the rest of the family to thrive. It's such an important job. And the way that job can only be completed is by making sure the wife is good, because the wife takes care of everybody else down the line. So it's like, that's when I'm like, that's real men. Like that, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. It's the mindset that it takes to have that type of thought, that critical thinking of, I can make more kids. I can't make another wife. Right. My wife is a very important piece of this whole family. And without her, I'm literally at a loss. I thought it was really beautiful, and it really just made me realize, like, and these are black men, so the whole idea of, oh, black men don't commit and they going and being with, you know, all types of other races and stuff like that, like, no, these are black men with black women, and, you know,
I think that bringing up like black men being with other races, I don't think it's a big deal, because it's just like,
everybody's
we're
with
all,
another race.
this is America. We're a mixed country. Like,
Right.
we're full
Everybody's
of everything.
mixed.
So no one's just only black. And even when they look in their background, like, they see that they were mixed with everything. So it just really doesn't matter who you choose color wise. It's a matter of love. And bringing back to what you said about the
It's a
guy,
matter of resources too.
of
Not
course,
just love.
yes, resources, love, and stability, safety, and what he said about, like, the fact of it is that
I think
he
love
loves
is,
his
like,
wife.
near the end.
So no, for a man, he needs to love you, because
Yeah, that's the only way that's gonna, his will's gonna push him to do it.
Exactly. And I love that he said that he would go and protect his wife first, because there's men who would go and save their children and recreate another wife, because he can do that by marrying someone else. And his
Right.
mindset was like, I'm not looking for anybody else in this world. I'm looking for this one particular woman, and I will do my
Right.
best to protect her, for her to be here for us
Right.
as a family, and we can go ahead and create more children, and you know.
But I think that it's
replenish.
interesting that you said that, because that's the whole baby daddy, baby mama culture, is they rather have a child
That's what I'm saying.
than have a wife.
Yeah, that's why those
And
guys will not. If
They will
were
never.
sinking, they will go ahead and go pick up the kid and let the lady drown, because
Even though you would cause the kid more trauma not
Yeah,
having the
mom.
mom.
Yeah.
That's a bigger trauma.
I mean, either way, like, I will try my best to protect my child, because as a
But
woman,
you're the woman,
exactly.
though. That is
Exactly.
your role, to
That's
nurture
what
and
I'm
care
saying.
for the child.
Right.
But your husband should know, and he does know, men who are married do know, like, my wife is an important part of this
Yeah.
whole situation.
Yeah.
So without her, we all gonna drown.
And you know what I love? Like, if you watch their interviews too, you'll see that during the time, I'm not sure of his name. So if you go on I Am Athlete, you can just see it yourself. When his wife, the same guy that said this story, his wife came, and he's one of the, like, rowdy ones, the one that is like
tough guy,
and alpha. When she comes in the room, his energy is soft. It's sweet. It's
Right.
a teddy bear. It's like, I love my wife.
Right.
Anything, I'm not going to look bad in front of my wife. I'm going to treat everybody with kindness and care, because, you know, my wife is here. And, like,
But that
you know,
puts, you know, the crazy thing of it is, because some guys I know will be like, oh, he's a simp, he's a wuss. But in
What?
reality, he's probably the strongest guy here, because he knows, like, he's like, literally a guy who's married, in my head, even if he cheats or something, like, he's more of a catch than a guy who's, like, been a bachelor for years.
many years.
Yeah.
50 years old, still a bachelor. Makes
Because
no
a
sense
bachelor
to me.
can't do nothing for you.
No.
A bachelor can have fun, but
He's the
you're
one
not
that's
having
letting
fun.
you sink. If you guys went on a boat cruise
Oh,
or
he's
whatever,
letting
like,
you
y'all on
sink
the
and
yacht,
saving himself.
he's saving himself.
Right.
And
Right.
next thing you know, the woman is the one that died. Like, there's a lot of cases, if you look back, there's something that's talking about
Because it's
that.
like, where are the protectors? You know, where are the
Yeah.
protectors of the women? Where are...
They're here. It's just
Right.
like, you got to pick the right one, because sometimes you marry these guys and they're not like these men that we're talking about. They're not like, you're not their number one choice.
Right.
I mean, they married you, but they're not like soft on you. They probably have attitudes with you.
Right.
They're like, you know, you get out the door, he's not opening the door for you. You got to get the groceries, and you bring the groceries in
And why are you married to him?
because they need somebody there.
Yeah. I'm
There's
not with
people
that.
no, I know you're not there, but women are just
That
accepting-
validation is
accepting
ridiculous.
because that person is there. But are they checking off the box?
Right.
And
Are you willing to save me? At the end of the day, like, if it comes down, do I feel safe with you?
Right.
And that's a real thing. And this is why I can't be with a Dusty or be
Right.
with a guy who's not a provider guy,
Right.
because I don't feel safe. No woman wants to be in a relationship or go out with a guy that, you know, he don't got his funds together. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have his life together.
No.
Like, you don't feel safe. If somebody does not have money, it's not safe.
No, it's not safe.
It's not safe.
And you got to think of it.
Period.
And if you have a father in your life, why, I don't think your father would want you to be with someone like that. Right. And then if your father accepts that, that's because your father is the same type of guy that's in that life.
Yeah.
And it's true, because it's like,
I cannot feel safe with a
Dusties.
poor man. That is the facts. That's
he
just
needs to
facts.
be single.
Because what else? Because
why are you in a relationship?
What else can a guy actually provide a woman, if not that safety provider thing? I know he can give his love, but we all know a guy's love can go in many directions. He can
live
give
in a
love,
world
give
of
her
the
love,
United
give
States.
this love. What else?
There's
what else?
real life things going
but
on.
listen,
here.
what else? What other way can a man
with no money?
Yeah. How can he prove himself to a woman?
Let's see.
See, that's the thing that I feel like a lot of these channels and these guys who like fight, like, I'm not going to be a provider, man. I'm not going to do this. But it's like, okay, so what else are you going to do?
Yeah, like you act like they always ask us, what do you bring to the table?
You're asking us what you bring to the table. Okay, so we take away your money. What else are you going to do? We take away your protection, your ability to build. What else do you bring to the table then? Because I'm a woman, I can pretty much do anything you can do.
I just created
and I can, I mean, and more, plus
the table
more
exists because of me.
Right.
But what do you bring to the table if you don't have that?
But that's a real question. Nothing. Because a lot of it comes down to nothing. And who wants to make a deal with nothing?
That's a bad.
Like, this is why, in the reality, why men do what they do. This is why rich men marry and give women money. This is why it all happens, essentially, because what else are they going to bring to you? Because he can't offer you sexual favors. I mean, women aren't set up in that way. That's not going to be the reason. I mean, and I know for some women that is one of your reasons, and you need to go to therapy and figure it out, because that is not valid.
No,
I don't care what anybody's thinking. What? That if you're past the age of 25 and you still think that's valid. That is not valid. No. So what else, if he's not going to bring you that safety, that the providing, what else is it? Ibrahim said, some women love to have a man in the house. Yeah. Just having a man in the house. I mean, that could be something else, but a man in the house, I can get
to pretend that he's a safety guard.
Yeah,
like go get a dog.
Like, it's
go get a dog.
It's
he's gonna bark and get people away.
It'd be better. He'll show you more love than a person, a guy who's just sitting in the house. What else could he bring? Because it's you. If you don't have money, I really don't feel safe. If a man does not have funds, does not have the ability to provide
or show
feels safe,
whoever he's dealing with, I think like when you're in a relationship, you gotta upkeep the good experience, that good time. For me, it's always about a good time. Like, I want to forever have a good time with you, no matter. And
even if it's a bad time,
exactly. But even then, it's still a good time because they're doing everything in their power to make you feel good, make you you're good, you're doing all right. Like, you need something. Like, that is the kind of thing that a man should always like make sure that you're the one that's having a good time more than he's having a good time. Because if you're not having a good time, he's not having a good time. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
but that's a man who enjoys your presence. If you're not having a good time, then he's like, hey, what's up? Let's fix this. Let's do something else. What do you want to do? You want to get out of here? You want to do something? Like, that's a man. But men like that are provider men. Men like that have funds. So they don't just sit and like, let you be mad, because guys who have money, they work hard, right?
They do.
So they don't want to spend their money and time being mad. So if you're the slightest bit
they wouldn't even
uncomfortable,
marry you, right?
No, if they really like you and you're the slightest bit uncomfortable, they're gonna do whatever it takes to make you feel good. I mean, I've been out, and not with even guys that I've with dating, just been out with friends, and
Yeah.
it's like, are you having a good
That's
time?
why I
I've
say
seen
that,
the
yeah.
situations, like I've hung out with groups of girls and guys, and the guys are always, I mean, 9 times out of 10, always catering to the women that are there, making sure that all the girls that are there are good, that if they're hungry, they're fed, that if their feet hurt, we're leaving. Like, it's always been like
Your
down
feet
to
hurts,
the
we're
woman.
leaving.
Yeah,
That's true. They're
so
not
it's
gonna
like,
leave
if a
you there.
guy,
You're not having a good time. All right, you leave.
Yeah.
I'll see you later. That's not a good man. That's called a dusty.
oh
Like,
no,
how is he? How are you leaving before him? That's
No.
not sounding good.
if like at the end of the day, if you got a problem, he should have a problem.
Yeah.
And that's just how you gauge where his level of compassion is. Because women, we show love like
Daily.
on the first date. I mean, the little things that we nurture, just doing little things for the guy, even moving something for him, or adjusting something and saying, oh, this is great, or complimenting him in a certain type of way. We literally bring you to a higher vibration.
They know that.
What is it?
Right? They know that, right?
Right. Well, hopefully, women bring you to a higher vibration.
Like high.
So in order for a man to reciprocate that, because he can't really bring her to a high vibration unless he does something for her.
Right.
Like, meaning that he has to take care of one of her problems. Because if you don't take care of any of her problems and you just like, what? But I was nice. That's not enough for women.
Yes, you can't be not.
It's not the same way that what it's enough for you. Men are more simple, so you require simple joys, and that's beautiful. That's great. But for women, we're more complicated. So it's like, you have to be able to provide for us. You have to make us feel safe. Like I said before, we have men coming at us all day, every day. We got sexual harassment, sexual assault, we got catcalling, we got beeping, we got so much going on with us that it's like, why should we stay here and deal with you and then be in your presence while the world is sitting here trying to get our attention? And the main thing is like, what could you do for her? Because when you do things for women, that is the most attractive thing. I don't care what type of woman you think it is. Any woman, and I said this before, any woman, regardless if she married a broke guy, she will always suggest the next woman to be dating a guy with money. Always. Hands down, always. I have family members that married men who don't have money and been in those situations. But when I was growing up and when I was thinking, they always made sure to tell me, hey, you choose up. You make sure you don't get with nobody who's not thinking. You make better choices. Right. So we all know,
and the same goes for like a father. Like I said, he would want his daughter to make a better choice. He doesn't want the plumber coming home. He wants real life, like someone who he can pass down. And this is why marriage happened a long time ago, because it's like, it brings like, a certain caliber for that family.
Right.
And I think that we forgot that as like society goes on, generations go on, that baby daddies and are okay, like to have a baby daddy. I don't know how this came about, but I think that the children aspect came from like men just saying like, oh, like,
I'm not gonna deal with the woman. But I think it's worse. I think if
it's
a man
tremendously worse.
If a man decides
for the
that,
children.
it's horrible for the children. I don't think children should be raised in a single family home, and I definitely don't think a child should be without any of the parents.
Any of them.
I feel like no matter what.
But what
type
if they have both? And like you said, like he's not like,
but it's not a
man.
loving relationship, so it's not a family. That's the thing. It's like, if you decide to just have a baby with a guy and there's no commitment to you from you and that guy, he can like literally leave you. You can go chase him down for child support, but at the end of the day, you never secured yourself to make sure that you were loved in this relationship, because he proved his love to you by marrying you. That's the truth. Like, marriage is for when a guy asks you to marry you, he's proving his love. So for you to reproduce with somebody who hasn't proved to you that he actually loves you, then he doesn't love you now. And when you get a child, it's going to be hard for him to love you even more because you can't even focus on him. You're going to be focusing on the baby. You're going to be stressed out, and it's going to bring more drama.
And then it's like, yeah, what time did you have to heal yourself? And it does take time for women to heal themselves, especially
after the baby.
Exactly.
So you didn't get married. You had the baby. You're in that situation, and it's just like, where and you look for love.
Yeah, you do,
because
definitely look
that's
for
all
love.
You really wanted. And that's why it's,
and
I mean, guys will tell you that all day, like, we can go half on a baby, let's get a baby, it's like, don't sell your short for that. Like, no, marry me.
Right.
I don't have babies by men who don't love me.
Right. And
if I have a baby out of wedlock, that means like 9 times out of 10 I'm going to have another child by somebody else because you never married me, because you did not make that clear.
Like, you know, I think that is the issue too. And that's why women stay in relationships, because they don't want a second baby father. They don't want to, and it's so sad because they have to think like, oh, I don't want a second baby's father, instead of saying, I'm going to receive a husband.
Right.
I'm going to receive a provider.
Right.
And so usually people who have that situation happen is because they don't want to have multiple different fathers in their family, in their home. And it just doesn't, I guess they're thinking in their head, because I have a daughter, and when I get married, it's actually going to be with a different man. But in my mindset, I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm going to have two different, people in my daughter's life. And it has nothing to do about like having different people in your life. It's just like making the right choice of the people that's going to be in your new family.
Right.
And not just someone who is going to just come and just give me a baby.
Right.
But someone who's going to come and be my protector, be my husband, be my provider, everything that it is to
have
keep
a family.
Our family intact. And I'm thinking like old days, like my family and your family is going to create a generation of, more and more better things in life.
Because you're thinking about legacy.
Exactly. I'm thinking that's
and
what
nobody's thinking about legacy.
That's the biggest
nobody's
issue.
Thinking about legacy except the families who have things to pass on.
Exactly.
And so the baby mama culture is showing like you're not going to have anything to pass on because there's no family.
There's no family.
There's no wedding. There's no, and your favorite influencers, are popping out babies. Your favorite rappers' baby mamas is popping out babies, and there's so many young kids that is like, I'm pregnant. I seen Floyd Mayweather's daughter.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Pregnant.
And she's single now.
Of course, she's single because she never. And it's like even your father wasn't even there to raise you. To show you that you deserve a ring before you gave somebody your womb. Because at the end of the day, you're giving up your womb. When you decide to have his child, when you decide to have his child, before he decides to love you and to protect you and to honor you, you literally gave him your womb for nothing. You said, I'm selling you this for cheap, like literally for nothing. So when you do that, you didn't even require, get the minimum.
Does her baby father
I think he's a rapper.
Oh, he's a rapper. Like a big time rapper?
Yeah, enough.
She can put him on child support. At least.
But why is that?
No, it's not. This is what these. Let me tell you. At least it's a wrong decision. Like I said, you women, all of us, we're all making bad choices,
right?
And this is one of them. This is a bad choice. And at least. She already has money. So this is the heartache. It's like her dad is
it's
a provider man
for the ones
because
that
he has
money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a father. He was no, that's not a dad. Like a dad is not going to
look at Kylie Jenner.
No, her dad is a woman.
Even Kim didn't do that.
Because she had her dad. She was like a teenager when her dad died, right?
But Courtney did it. She became a baby mama.
She became a baby mama because her dad was giving Kim
because her
more
man
love.
was a Dusty.
Duh.
And Scott been a Dusty, but
right?
Whatever. And Chloe tried to do the right thing, but she just kept on being with the wrong type of
Mindset.
guy. So
She wanted to be with hip hop.
right.
She wanted to be with like she.
With the
I
people
know
who would accept
black people have so much connection. Y'all are funny. I'm part of them too. Y'all are funny. Y'all are real. Y'all just like a good time. Like if there was a crew of circle to choose from, like to go
Yeah.
anywhere, you know, everybody would want to hang out with you guys, with us, because we're super cool.
Right.
And so I think that, you know, hip hop and all of this stuff and how super cool we are, and that's the title that we carry. Cool, cool, cool. Where's our money?
Right. Say it
Where's our
again.
legacy?
Right.
Where's, you know, our generational wealth and growth and like all these great things that we accomplished? All we got is cool and hip hop. People are literally out here. We had one caller call in and said that I'm a rapper, and like this is where our people go. Like our young folks are like choosing to become rappers and to become an entrepreneur, and maybe they are an entrepreneur in some way, and they're saying like, oh well, I have like a record label or whatever. That's still in the same caliber of rap and hip hop and music. It's not diversing into different things that maybe you're an artist
That you
like,
can make real money
like
from
you
right
can
now.
actually create like things that could help big companies, or I don't know, something that's just not the norm. And I think that we got to go outside of the norm and kind of find something more creative in our ways.
Yeah, because they
music
box
is beautiful.
the black culture up.
Yeah.
Like you're in a box. When you stay in the black culture, you literally put yourself in a box. You should be continuously breaking yourself out of that box. You should be continuously just amplifying your life. Like if this is what they expect me to do, I'm gonna do something completely different and throw it out the window, and hey, this is me now. Because at the end of the day, you are the greatest creator on this earth.
Yes.
Walking. You are the greatest creator. You have the most creativity, you have the most passion, you have, it's just all naturally
everybody wants
in you.
to be with you. There's an aura, there's an energy that's within you that
But with that comes great responsibility. And we're continuously being oppressed because they want you to not take that responsibility, which a lot of people have given up that responsibility.
And a lot of people haven't.
And a lot of people haven't. A lot of people are picking up that responsibility and taking that accountability. But with that, I mean, you got to really look at the situations like, hey, am I promoting family? Am I promoting legacy? Or am I promoting, you know, hip hop? What's the latest trend? What, you know, what is this? Why is it that the young men in our culture are like not trying to be men? It's like they don't want their job. And it's like, okay, do you want the job as a woman? And, and it's
lot
like,
of them do.
Yeah, but that's not the real job of the woman.
No.
Like you can be trans, but unless you go through
that's
the
not what
real
they want. They
internal
want-
internal battle that women face, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, all this internal stuff that we deal with.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So by a guy being that provider, by being that protector, he's acknowledging that you have, as a woman, so much going on, so much to take care of, that to do my part, because he realized I can't really do anything for this woman except provide, give her safety, give her security. That's literally all I can really do, and, you know, get my needs met. Because even with the child thing, like, it's about the man getting his needs met.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily...
That's how the child came about.
Because he got his needs met, because he's the one who pushes out the spirit, the sperm. He's the one who does that. So it's coming from his own pleasure.
Yeah.
And then we bear that, we carry that, we multiply that. But that doesn't come at a cheap cost to us, our bodies, our mental state, our minds, all that stuff we put at risk to have that child. So for him to not give you that confidence, that exclusivity, that commitment of marriage, I'm not pushing out no baby for you. But that's the mindset us women need to have, that we're not going to give up our wombs for nothing. For nothing. If you offer me, if you don't offer me marriage, you literally, because at least with marriage, and I'm not saying marriage is the goal too for all, but that at least proves that he has love for you. And at the end of the day, even if he doesn't have love for you, he's now legally obligated to take care of you and that child. But if you don't do that and you do that, then he's only obligated for that child. And at the end of the day, we all know how that turns out, because these guys, they'll get paid under the table, stop working just to just avoid paying child support.
That's what I'm seeing. So I've seen articles of men, going up, like even artists are saying, I'm not working. 50 Cent had actually said that too.
I'm not working. I'm not making any money.
Like how?
Excuse me?
Actually have a lot of things going on.
You have other kids.
This is
you have investments.
That these guys
what do you
are
mean?
manipulating.
It's like, I don't want to pay for my child.
No, they don't. And then why did you create
it? So they didn't want to marry you. They don't want to pay for the kid.
Why did they create it?
So why did you give him your womb?
Why did they create the child?
Out of his pleasure.
At the moment, right?
Yes, his pleasure for the moment. And it's up to the woman. That's why we got to turn it back to the women, ladies. Why did you give up your womb?
Call in. I'm just kidding. I was young. That's why I gave up.
Of course you're young. But that's why do you do it again?
No.
Do you do it again? Do you repeat the cycle? You do it one time, you learn, but you don't repeat the cycle. This is the idea. Like women, like you said in the beginning of the show, we have to level up. You can't no longer just be like going with the same okie doke. It's 2020. You ain't got your vision yet.
Yeah.
Like, it was 12/21. Y'all didn't get y'all powers yet. We done leveled up. We got the eclipse on them. Like, women, you're in tune. Tap in.
I'm saying. Tap in. Sweetie told y'all. Y'all love music, right? I'm trying to, like, Sweetie told y'all. Tap in.
Re-listen to that and see what it means. Like, she said, tap in.
I don't think those type of women's music are good. But if you kind of, like, because, if you listen to what they're saying, you're just saying, oh, well, all women just want somebody to buy them a bag. They want them to
what else you gonna do for me?
Like, that's what it's the true story. It's like, what else?
Tell me what else you gonna do
for us that we can't do for ourselves? But treat us nice, treat us kind. Go out your way to do something nice.
Because we all know what I'm gonna do that you can't do for yourself.
Exactly.
So what is it that you're gonna do?
So you can't get mad at a woman. But anyways, you just can't get mad at a woman for the things that she wants, because you want more than anything, men, and women just provide it to you. And as you can see, women who don't have their mindset together, they're okay with providing you with children into the world. So you got to understand that life is life. So don't worry about that. You're going to overcome that, ladies. But you have to learn today. Like, if you didn't realize, okay, well, you know what? You're right, Kat and Isabel. I actually do see that within myself. And I see that I am dealing with these dusties, and I am dealing with these guys who aren't really like showing me that they care about me. And it's okay. And you go through that because you need to. They're not there. They're pretend. This is pretend. And you're thinking it's real life, but it's a pretend thing because it's a test. Even though that person doesn't know that they're playing, but it is a test to see if this is something that you want in your life. Right. And it will continue to sit there and stall and not
until
have
you put up that boundary.
Exactly. And that's
it's all a test. Men will test you from the moment he met you to the moment he leave you. And see just how far he can take this thing. And men are just as conniving. As much as they say women are, men do it too, because their mamas taught them to do that. That's why they on it like that. Because they was raised by a mama that said, don't treat that girl good. What? She a hood rat. She better pay for her own. So now he know how to tell you the right thing. I hate men, boys who are at the age where they should be men but still boys. Like, I just absolutely hate it. It's the biggest turn off to me. I do not like, I love manly men. Like, I love real men. Like, if you're not a real man and you're still out here being young and everything, all respect, but please move towards being a man. Move towards being a provider man, because that way you are going to be set. You will get a wife that you actually really want. You guys keep complaining about women and these bad relationships, but you're the reason why you have a bad relationship, because
you're not making her happy. Like, you're literally, it's Christmas and you didn't say happy Christmas to her, and you didn't
get her the gift that she wanted. And I'm talking about a real gift, like a luxury gift. gift, like something that, shows that I appreciate you and I love you.
I went on my
and
way
I
to
went
get
on my
this.
way to get this for you. Like, men,
First of all, women gotta know what they want so that they can go ahead and say, "Oh,
Right.
this is my Christmas list."
because nobody's a mind reader.
And don't get mad at him because he came home with some Walmart brand stuff perfume that's
Right.
so-called Versace or Chanel, Coco Chanel, and it's Papa Chanel. Like,
Right.
you didn't tell him you wanted Chanel, so he got you what he can. And so don't sit there, ladies, and not have any mind for yourself to know what you want, so that you could be like, prior to the time it was Christmas, like, he been knew that I wanted this, and then if he came with nothing that you asked for, then you act mad and you're like, what the heck is this? Like, I thought I was gonna get what I asked for.
The man will
Like
treat you however you want to be treated. If you want to be treated good, he's gonna treat you good. If you just taking all everything, he's gonna treat you like anything.
But
We're actually gonna
yeah,
get up out of here.
right.
So
it's a
thank
little
you
bit-
guys who stuck in there with us and stopped by and said happy holidays.
Yes.
Super grateful for you guys.
And oh yeah, if you would like to be kind and send us a generous Christmas or holiday spirit donation, or anything that you want is fine, hit up our Cash App. It is $ nothing's wrong pod.
And also,
always-
if you want to support the channel, we always take follows, subscribes, and likes as gifts as well.
Yeah,
So for the
those are the best
holiday
ones, too.
spirit, you can just bless us on all our social media with a follow, a like, a comment, whatever you want. Just share it. I mean, that would be even greater.
Yes.
So yes, we will accept that as well. So always remember, guys, nothing's wrong.
Yep.